Izar. I'm sorry, we're on Ayin Vav 76a. My Darshi, Losie Eishes Amesa Chutzali Izar. The widow should not marry a strange man that's not her brother-in-law, because Yavama Yavo Aleh, and in order to marry a strange man, she needs Chlitza. Hachti Yasva Chutza, because she's called Chutza because she didn't have Nesuin, she only had her Kidushin. He Lo Sieli Izar. She needs Chlitza or Yibum. Aval Hachta Lo Yasva Chutza, but the woman who was married with Nesuin, Tieli Izar, she's allowed to marry a Izar without Chlitza. So then there are Bnei Yavama that married outside without Chlitza, and Rabbi Kiva Tamei, Shamar Yesh Mamzer Mechavi Lavin. Both Siyeh Eishes Hameis is a lav. But according to Rabbi Kiva, children from such a relationship creates mamzeris. So that's the second shita. The Yesh Oimrim, a third shita. These Gerim were not careful in mitzvahs. Man Yesh Oimrim, who is the Yesh Oimrim? Aravidi Baravin Am Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Lazar. The Tanya, matzah's kusi muteris. If a kusi makes a matzah, you can eat it on Pesach. The Adam yoytzi b'yidei chavos of Pesach. Rabbi Yezer Oyser, Rabbi Yezer said you're not permitted. L'fi she'ein b'kiyim b'dukdukei mitzvahs. They're not careful. It could be chametz. Rav Shirgal Oimer, it depends. Kol mitzvah shechziku b'kusim. Any mitzvah that the Kusi maintained or retained, they did it even more carefully than Jews. Elahachi, what did they do here? My ein bekiyin, lefishein bekiyin b'toras kiddushin v'gerushin. They didn't know the detailed laws about kiddushin and gerushin, and then maybe people got divorced not appropriately, and they ended marriages without a proper get, and then the vlad is a mamzer. Mamzer machoiser umamzer ma'eshes ach nisarvube. Specific mamzerim who were born from sisters and from sister-in-laws, that's got mixed in them. Now, my kamashmalan, what do we need to know? What type of mamzerim there? If it's going to teach me sheyesh mamzer mechayve krisus, so nisni, because there's no capital punishment with achoisoi and eshasak. It's only chayve koris. So nisni chada, what do you have to teach me? So mention one of them. So the Gemara says, "Ma'aser shaya kachaya." The historical fact where there were mamzerim from sisters and from Eshesachs mixed in. Rava Amar different answer. It wasn't mamzer machoiser, mamzer Eshesach, but rather eved v'shivcha nisarvu b'hem. So Yisur mishumai mishum shivcha, because the children are avodim. So you don't need eved v'shivcha. Because Tami Shivcha, you know what's going to be. Nislichada. My Shaya Kachaya was Eved and a Shivcha, and so we're given the historical account. Mishnah. A Kohen Anose Isha, a Kohen who's going to marry a Kohenes. If a Kohen is going to marry a female Kohen, so tzarich livdok achrea arba imoy shein shmona. You have to check backwards 4 generations. Ima, her mother. Aim Ima, her mother's mother. Aim Avi Ima, the mother of the father of her mother. The Ima and her mother. And then if the Kohen is going to marry a Leviah Yisraelis, you add 1 generation. If the ancestors was a Kohen that did the avodah on the Mizbeach, then you don't have to check any beyond. Because Bezdin, before they let a Kohen do the avodah, does a check. Somebody was a Levi, they were already cleared. If somebody had somebody in the Sanhedrin wouldn't appoint somebody who had a pagam mishpach. Because if there was a chazaka that one of the ancestors had a job in the tzibur, he was the president of the shul, or he was the gabbai tzedakah. It was a chazaka that the community did not appoint people to such a position unless there were no psulim in their yichus. Rav Yossi Omer, Av Mishai Chosum, Eid Be'erkei Hayishana Shel Tzipori. If somebody signed as a witness in the court, in the Bezdin of Tzipori, that there was also a very careful yichus analysis before you would be accepted as an aid. Rav Chanis ben Antigus Rav Mishai Muchtav Bastratya Shel Melach. If you were included in the army of the king, they checked your yichus.
Why?
Look what Rashi says. Bigmora mefarish la.
Okay.
Because there were tzaddikim. Remember, the armies weren't like they were now.
But that doesn't have anything to do with your yichus. Still be a mamzer and a tzaddik.
Okay, so we'll see how the Gemara explains it to us.
By the way, Ernie, I don't know if you saw the Golani Brigade. Everybody, before they're going to war now, they're all davening together. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but they're all davening together. Everybody.
Wow.
Well, my grandchildren, my grandsons.
I'll send the chat. I'll send to the chat the video.
But the first
everybody before the whole. You can't believe how many Golani there was davening before going to war.
The first week of the war, my grandchildren in Modi'in were making tzitzis. Why were they making tzitzis? Because every chayal wants to wear tzitzis. Not just the religious, every chayal, all the chiloni, they're all asking for tzitzis. It's a revolution. So there are thousands of tzitzis that have been sent to the front.
So you can't talk about this army is Yitzhak Hashem. We should have a big Yeshua.
It's Hashem.
Amen. So my Mishnah, you notice in the Mishnah, it talked about only checking the mothers. Mishnah benoshi badkino, Mishnah begavri lo badki. Why aren't we checking the yichus of the fathers? When women fight and they call each other names, they do it using, like you're they slander each other with bad yichus. They say you're mezaneh with this, you're mezaneh with that. If there was a psul mispach lo islay kola. They don't fight by calling each other's names with a bad yichus. You're a mamzer, you're a halal. No, they say you're mezaneh with this, you're mezaneh with that. So nobody knows. So therefore, you got to check. But Gavri, men, men call each other, you're a mamzer, you're an evet. So if there was truth, it's like kala. People would know about it. So you don't have to do a bedika by the men. The nami tivdok bebedi day. So why doesn't the kala, when the kala marries, that she should check the husband also with his yichus regarding the mothers. Because the Mishnah said only when a Kohen marries either a Kohenes, Levi, or Yisraelis, we have to do the bedikas. How come we don't, when a woman comes to marry a man, we don't say check his yichus? Messiah le Rav. Show me what I'm a Rav. Lo huzaru ksheres inosi l'psulim. Remember, Kohanos can marry anybody. They can marry Chalalim or Geirim or Avodim Meshuchrarim. Remember, we learned that a few days ago, that a female Kohen, it's not like a male Kohen. Female Kohen can marry anybody. So there's no purpose in checking for all these other Pagam Mishpacha. Ravada Barvatani Arba Moishe Mishtei Misrei. Ravada said you have to check 4 mothers. Each parent, which ends up being 12. The Masnisa Tana Arbi Moshe Msheshes rate. Go back 16. This we'll learn tomorrow. So tomorrow, 7:30. Tonight, the tzurba will be at 8 o'clock.
Shkoyach, Ernie.
Yes,